So I may be a little bit late to the party, but I finally got to see Scream 6 today, which honestly I was getting so mad. Like everybody was seeing it on Thursday night. They were seeing it on opening day and I'm here like, can I just watch this movie? Scream 6 was definitely my most anticipated movie of this year. We still have a lot of great horror movies to come out this year, but I was super excited for Scream 6. And I finally got to see it. And I wanted to kind of talk about it on here. I do want to say that this might possibly be a spoiler discussion podcast. So if you haven't seen Scream 6 yet, go watch it, then come back and listen to this. But I do got to say that I am very impressed with this one. Now, some Scream fans may not like this one. Some Scream fans may absolutely love this one. It seems like most people are loving it, but I could see why people may not like this one because it's different and some people don't like change. I'm one of those people who love change as long as you don't change it too much to where it's not that character anymore. I'm glad that they didn't make Ghostface something that he's not. Like I'm not okay, I don't know what that was, but I'm basically saying like I don't like it when they make too big of a change where it's not the character that we love, you know? And Scream 6 definitely didn't do this. This is a typical Scream movie, but at the same time, it's very different, and I respect this movie for that. This is the movie that the franchise needed. It needed a change. It was time for them to do something different, even though this is still more of the same, unfortunately. Like, you still have killer reveal at the end of the movie. You still have Ghostface, for the most part, using a knife. There is a scene in this movie, which it's a spoiler discussion, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There are scenes where Ghostface uses a shotgun, which I thought was really cool. I know everybody was freaking out, like, oh, Ghostface can't use a gun, blah, blah, blah. But every killer reveal in the franchise, they've used a gun. Ghostface has technically used a gun, it just hasn't been in costume. And in this case, he was in costume using a shotgun, which I thought was perfect. I thought that was really cool. So I'm glad that they've done a change for this franchise finally. Um, there's always that saying, if it's not broken, if it's not broke, don't fix it or whatever. This needed this. This needed this. What am I saying? This franchise needed this. I love the Scream franchise, but I've been saying for years to people who know me, like, they need to do a change. Like, I love the franchise, but do something different. And they finally did that. So I'm still trying to digest this movie, honestly. And I seen the movie about 3 hours ago now, at the time of me recording this podcast. Um, I'm still trying to let it sink in. I seen the movie one time, so you're gonna have to give me a break. I'm sure I'm gonna forget things. But the opening of this movie was a little weak to me. Now, I don't think this is the worst opening in the franchise. That'll probably go to Scream 4. I hate how repetitive that opening is in Scream 4. It's just stab movies over and over again. I think that's stupid. This one is, I don't know. I think Scream 5's opening is still a little weaker because it's just recycled material. But this opening was not great to me. I don't think this is a super strong opening for a Scream movie, but it's fine. It's passable, I guess. Um, I'm not crazy about it. I respect them for trying to do something different again, but it's still at a I don't know. But yeah, the opening's just okay to me, I guess. Let's talk about Ghostface. I don't want to wait anymore. I just want to talk about Ghostface. He is brutal in this movie. He's ruthless. He doesn't care. He's just hardcore in this movie, I guess. He doesn't care if it's daytime. He doesn't care if you're around people. He's going to kill you. He does not care. And I love that about this Ghostface. This is probably the most brutal Ghostface, in my opinion. I'm not saying this is the best Ghostface, but he is the most brutal Ghostface. And I will say that I appreciate the difference in the mask finally. We have the old, worn out Ghostface mask. And I really appreciate that, even though you could say, like, they stole that from Halloween 2018, like the aged mask. I love it for Ghostface. I'm glad they did this because every movie, it's just a plain white Ghostface mask, which is fine. That's iconic. That's amazing. But I'm so glad that there was a change with the mask. That's another thing I've wanted for so many years, and they finally did it. So I appreciate that. And I'm very happy with this Ghostface. I'm talking about this movie like it's 20 years old. I know a lot of the cast members were saying before the movie came out, like, hey, this Ghostface is going to be brutal. This is going to be the scariest Ghostface and all that. I don't know if I'd say this was the scariest, but this is definitely the most brutal Ghostface. This is the Halloween Kills of the Scream franchise, I guess. Even though Scream 6 is a better movie than Halloween Kills. That's not a shot at Halloween Kills. I somewhat like Halloween Kills. I've talked about it before. I'm not here to talk about that. But this is the Halloween Kills of the Scream franchise, in my opinion. And that's not a bad thing. Okay, so let's talk about the story of Scream 6. Basically, I don't think there's really a ton here. Sam is getting accused of being the killer in Scream 5, even though we know it's Richie and what's her name? Why am I blanking? Amber. There we go. Richie and Amber are the killers in Scream 5. Sam's getting blamed for the murders that happened in Scream 5. And I get why. She's the daughter of Billy Loomis. Everybody knows this. And I get that. I think that was fine. We come to find out that the reason that the killings are happening again is because they're trying to finish Richie's movie. These new Ghostface killers, which I'm not going to say who it is yet. I may not even reveal who they are on here, even though this is a spoiler discussion, but I'm not going to talk about, I don't know, maybe I will. So yeah, they're trying to continue Richie's movie, and that's fine. I think it works for this. It's not, I don't know if I would have done this, maybe, but I don't know. It's fine. I think it worked. Sam is great in this as a character. Tara is great in this as well. Pretty much everyone's great in this. Mindy and Chad, they're great in this as well, but I don't know. I'm still trying to digest this movie. Let me talk about something that I know I want to talk about. The New York setting, that to me was cool. I'm glad that they finally left Woodsboro and did something different and brought it to New York, but I do have a small problem with this movie. I've heard a lot of people say, it feels like New York. They did a good job getting the setting right, even though I don't think it was filmed in New York. But I think at times this movie doesn't use New York as they could have, if that makes sense. Like they could have used the scenery of New York more than what they did. I think that's my small problem with Scream 6. It's like, yeah, it's in New York, but at times you kind of forget that it's in New York. So that's my problem with that. But overall, I do like the movie. There's some great scenes. My favorite scene is the gas station scene. I thought that was awesome. That was chef's kiss. I love the tension in that scene. I love Sam and Tara in that scene. I love Ghostface using a shotgun. I thought that was great. I actually felt like the movie needed more scenes like that were like extremely different. Best scene in the movie, the subway scene, awesome. Even though I thought that scene was going to play out a little different. I thought something was going to happen to a certain character, aka Mindy. I thought she was going to die in that scene. She didn't. And that's another thing, another problem I have with this movie is they didn't kill off big characters. You know what I'm saying? Like we thought Gail was going to die. You find out that she doesn't actually die. It's like you think Mindy was going to die. You think Chad was going to die. Chad got double teamed. That sounded wrong. But Chad got double teamed. He got stabbed by two Ghostface at the same time and he still lived. It's like this movie doesn't have balls, honestly. They should have just killed somebody. Like, kill a major character. If it was me, I would have possibly even killed Tara because it would have been such a big deal. Like, we needed something like that in this movie. See, Scream 5 had that when they killed off Dewey. Scream 6 didn't. There was no really big characters that died, and I think that's also another downfall of Scream 6. But overall, like, Scream 6 is good. I think it's better than 5. I think it's probably better than 3 and 4. It's probably my third favorite. I don't think Scream 6 beats the original or Scream 2. Those will always be my two favorite. But this is a good installment. This is a good sixth installment in a franchise. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see what they do next with this franchise, with the seventh movie, because, come on, we're going to get a Scream 7. And I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but I just wanted to get on here and talk about Scream 6. I just watched it. The hype is real for Scream 6 right now. I just had to talk about it. I like it. I really do like it. I think this is what the franchise needed. This one's not repetitive. Well, I can't say that. It is repetitive because they do some of the things that we've seen before. But overall, this is the different Scream movie. I know people referred to Scream 3 as the black sheep of the franchise. Nah, I think Scream 6 is now the black sheep of the franchise in a good way, though. This is the Scream movie that stands out from the others. This is the different one. And in my opinion, some people will probably still say, oh, Scream 3 is the black sheep. No, I think it's Scream 6 now, but that's not me saying that in a bad way. It's a good way, trust me. If you wanted a change for this franchise, if you're someone who's watched this franchise and you don't like how repetitive, all right, let me just try this again. If you're somebody who's watched the Scream franchise and you don't like how repetitive it is, then give this one a shot. Yes, it's repetitive in certain things, but it's also different. And I think that'll make people happy. And I think that's why a lot of people are enjoying Scream 6 is because it's actually different. But still the same. It doesn't change what we do love about the Scream franchise. It's always fun to try to guess who the killer is. You still have that here, but it's different and it's I don't know, it's different. That's the word I would say. This is the black sheep of the franchise. Check it out if you haven't. If you did enjoy this podcast, please leave a like and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. And I plan on doing more HBH podcasts at some point. Again, this YouTube has just not been my thing for like this past year. But I'm going to try to come back soon. I have another podcast idea. I know this one wasn't super long, but I just really wanted to get on here and just blab about Scream 6 for a little bit. So I appreciate you guys listening to me. And with that being said, I will hopefully you guys will, you would hear me. I don't know. I'm out of here.